There's that moment. You need to react and jump to something being thrown to you. Or you go to play pickup basketball and have to sprint and cut, only to realize how long it's been since you've done something athletic. You feel like you've lost the pop in your step. Welcome everyone, I'm Dr. Sam Spinelli, and today we're talking about athleticism. It's really common for us to stop doing challenging athletic activities as we age. There's a distinct drop-off once we finish high school or college for most people. For some, they might jump into the occasional pickup game or join a community league, but it's often inconsistent. Instead of regularly sprinting, jumping, and cutting, most transition to jogging or lifting for their physical activity. The focus goes away from performance and more to either just generally being healthy or looking good in a bathing suit. There isn't anything inherently wrong with this, but if you only focus on these things, it will come at the expense of other factors, such as being and feeling athletic. You see, when it comes to being healthy or improving your aesthetics, it doesn't require a ton of complexity. Be consistent, train regularly, eat well, and gradually progress over time. In contrast, being athletic takes a bit more than that. So how do we overcome that? We put together a list of our top 6 recommendations that you can include in your training to start making a difference and feel athletic again. The 6 recommendations that we picked are ones that should be able to be performed at most gyms and fit within a regular training program. If you're someone who regularly goes to the gym, but you're in that cycle of general health or aesthetic focus, then you can just make a few modifications to your program and fit these in. Alternatively, if you want a program that does that for you, check out the ones that we offer. I'll put a link in the description box below. We regularly put these kinds of movements in our programs to help emphasize athleticism. All right, let's get into the movements. Number 1, jumping. If you're looking to start adding in some athleticism, jumping is an excellent place to start. Jumps are a phenomenal demonstration of power, something that we lose as we age if we don't train it. There's tons of types of jumps out there, and we're just going to show you the top ones that we think are excellent starting places for most people. First up, the band-resisted horizontal jump or broad jump. Jumping forward requires a good ability to create force both vertically and horizontally. Most of the time when people complain about jumping, it's with the deceleration, the landing impact. So using the band reduces that. Just set up a band behind you, a bit below hip height, step inside of it, walk out till it has tension, and then set up and jump out. You don't have to jump as hard as you can. In fact, if you haven't been doing much jumping recently, you're probably better off starting at roughly 50 to 70% and then building your way up over weeks to months to getting into full capacity jumping. Our second jump is the 1-leg to 2-leg squat jump. Most of the athletic activities that we do focus on jumping off of one leg, so we want to utilize that. However, like we discussed, a lot of people struggle with that impact force, and landing on one leg is going to be hard. That's where this variation comes in great. When we jump off one leg, we essentially have half the force we could create with 2 legs. But when we land with both legs, making the demand we need half of what we would for 2. There's a good chance you can't actually even get that high, as most people struggle with the coordination of jumping off one leg, so it inherently will reduce how much of an impact force you'll experience. Try it out, and if it still feels really hard, utilize the same principle that we discussed with the horizontal jump on building up over weeks to months. Number 2, sprinting. If you ask most people to envision some sort of athletic event, it will likely involve some kind of a sprint. Sprinting is the center of most sports, and it's an incredible display of power, mobility, and coordination. We would have ranked it our number 1 choice, but sprinting is actually a lot more challenging than jumping, and if you haven't been doing anything athletic in a long time, you need to build your way to it. So if you haven't sprinted in a long time, you're better off doing some dynamic movements that will lead up to a sprint. For instance, just spending 5 to 15 minutes once or twice a week rotating through drills like butt kicks, high knees, and knee skips for a month. Then you should be a bit more prepared to start off working in some sprints into the rotation. We like to utilize sprints out of awkward positions as it inherently reduces how much force you can generate. For example, doing a 10-yard push-up start sprint. Here you start laying on your stomach, then push up and drive out for 10 yards. This is a great place to start for a lot of people. If you're in that group of people who haven't sprinted in recent history, you want to take the same approach we did with jumping, where you're going to start off at roughly 50 to 70% and build your way up over weeks to months. Number 3, fast feet. In the world of sports, it's not about how fast you move your feet, but how fast you impart force into the ground to then move your body. However, the ability to reposition your feet in order to move your body is valuable, and a lot of times we lose that if we haven't trained it in a long time. The goal here is to create some higher speed contractions that challenge us to move at a faster rate in order to be able to reposition our feet and then eventually reposition our body better. For most people, starting off with a basic in-out drill for about 10 to 20 seconds is perfect. This will get your feet moving quickly, but not so complex that you struggle with the coordination. You can work to move your feet faster and faster over time, and then start to layer on more complexity and more coordination. In time, you can progress it even more by adding in reaction and other things to start making it more athletic. Number 4, move in different planes. If you're one of those people who left sports in high school and now just jogs or goes to the gym, you probably live in the sagittal plane. The sagittal plane is forward and back, up and down, so moves like squats, forward lunges, etc. Don't get us wrong, we love these movements and we love the sagittal plane. But if you want to be able to move side to side, be able to rotate and twist, then you need to be able to train that as well. If your form of physical preparation is at the gym, then we want to start incorporating movements that have you do that. That's where exercises like lateral lunges or curtsy lunges come in. These can be loaded and used to help build up muscle and strength, but they also get you moving more dynamically in different planes. Number 5, lift faster. We mentioned earlier about moving fast, and that's because in sports, speed kills. If someone can move faster than their opponent, they're inherently better off than them. For those who are already pretty strong and have enough of a base of strength from most sports, we want to start adding in speed and emphasize it to our lifts. So when you're doing squats, bench, or other stable compound movements, start pushing the speed and get that bar moving. It's a simple change that can have a solid return on your investment. You might even find that it helps your strength. And finally, number 6, do more unilateral work. Earlier we said that most athletic movements are going to happen on one leg, and that statement also applies to the usage of our arms. There aren't too many instances where we legitimately evenly use both legs or both arms at a time. More often than not, you're either using them completely separately, or you're using them both but not to an even amount. By doing more unilateral training, we can build more competency and more control with each side. A few of our favorites are single arm rows, single arm presses, skater squats, and single leg deadlifts. Now this isn't an exhaustive list. This is just our top 6 recommendations that are going to be able to be implemented at gyms and help you get feeling more athletic. If you want a program that puts this together for you in a nice neat package, check out the link in the description box below. We regularly utilize sprints, jumps, and various other movements in our programs to help you feel athletic. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe and tap that like button. See you in the next video. Summer loving, having some fun. What? Oh yeah, you got plenty now. Oh. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.